Jesus Christ. That is cringe. See, that is the benefit of being a centrist. You can call out the cringe wherever you see it. But at least I understand why it's happening, and I think that it should happen. The more people get upset because it's happening, the better. And when you go on Twitter, you notice people, they just don't understand, like, why is he so famous? Why is everyone talking about him? And the same people had no problem with Greta Thunberg, when I remember I couldn't open a single website without Greta talking to me. I would open my refrigerator and Greta was there. How dare you? Do you know how much carbon this meat costed? And but it's not even that. I mean, the mythos of Greta is even worse because you have to assume that a girl who just skips school manages to end up talking with Obama and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, it can literally happen to you. If one day you decide to skip school for a noble cause, you're going to be speaking with world leaders and famous actors. No one had a problem with that. Like, no one was asking any questions. But the same people are now living that Kile is going everywhere. I mean, look at his account, and you can see him with the turning point here. And if you scroll down, apparently, like, he's at this event. And you can see these ladies in the background happy and smiling at him. Hey, ladies, don't you know that the prosecutor pointed out at the trial that he has a misogynistic TikTok account? He's a misogynistic person. Do you know what the name of his TikTok account was? 4 Doors More Whores. Like, how can these ladies smile at the man who is misogynistic? The public has declared him. The media has declared he's misogynistic, and yet ladies are smiling towards him. What is with this reality? It's breaking. The narrative is shattering. The condition is breaking. But yeah, no, like, you know, it sounds funny, and it's like a good joke and whatnot, but there is some dose of truth to it. This is literally where Kile is sucking his popularity from. It's due to the fact that the media, and especially the fact checkers, the ones that help us see truth in our society, were wrong on every single issue. Like, for example, the fact checker and the corporate press. The corporate press never gets anything wrong, ever, because they are the authoritative sources. They are the Ministry of Truth, apparently. And if you disagree with them, you're into wild conspiracy theories. Dangerous misinformation. By the way, when they say dangerous misinformation, dangerous to whom exactly? But that's besides the point. The reason that I'm bringing it up is that the fact checkers and the media were spreading misinformation themselves. I mean, in the first day, they said that he was carrying a gun illegally. And if you actually watched the trial, the judge said, no, according to the law, it was perfectly legal for him to carry. And it's such an easy thing to verify. I mean, if you're a multi-billion-dollar corporate organization, you have an army of people to fact check all the way. And they could have found out, no, apparently it was legal for him to carry. But they spread this dangerous misinformation, and I can tell you to whom it was dangerous. It was dangerous to Kile. Because now all of the social media are using the authoritative fact checkers in order to ban everyone that was even suggesting that what Kile did was self-defense. And it's going to the point where, by the way, all of these people here, you know, like all of the right-wingers and the politicians that are siding with him now, and he's going on stages and there's fireworks. Yeah, none of them said a single word when the trial was still going on. I mean, the left said a lot of words. But these people on the right, they were nowhere to be found. Crickets. Like, I'm really curious to see in an alternative universe where, let's say, the jury found him guilty. How many of these right-wingers would have still spoke out? How many of them would have said anything? Because the trial would have been the same, right? It's just like the jury during the deliberation would have came up to even a hung jury. Like, if it was a hung jury, do you think right-wingers would have said anything? Because I severely doubt it. So, the reason that the people are siding with him is because you can see it right here. I mean, the social media companies. For example, TikTok is banning his accounts. They keep disabling his accounts. It started with, I believe it was EA Games. He made an account on their servers and they banned him. Why? Because he used his real name. Why? I don't think it's because EA Games legitimately has anything against them. I think like last year, they had their terms of service moved so that anyone who speaks on behalf of Kile gets banned. So I think like those terms of service remained in place. So when Kile goes and buys a video game, he can't create an account with his real name because he gets banned. Not because he broke any rules, but because of the place we live in. And you can see, like people keep going. It's like, oh yes, TikTok is Chinese and TikTok blah, blah, blah. Look, TikTok is doing the same. They even changed his account to some random gibberish so people can't search for him. It is absolutely bizarre. They removed his picture, and then they removed his user, and they moved it to some gibberish. And it is what it is. I don't think he can sue for it, but just because he can't sue doesn't mean that people are going to side with it. Like, people look at what's happening and they're like, that's kind of fucked up. That's kind of wrong. Let's support this dude because he's being treated unfairly by the corporations and the people in power. So that is it. Like you have the justice where unanimously all of the jurors found them to be not guilty. And now the corporations are treating him unjustly. And apparently he might sue. There was an interview where he said consequences might be coming. And I think he should sue. I don't think it's going to hurt the mainstream media and these other corporations. They're probably going to settle, like with Sandman. But from Kile's point of view, I mean, this is definitely a win. He should make money because at this point, the way he is being treated is very unlikely he's actually going to have a normal life out of college. He was actually very happy with the fact that he managed to go into college. But just so you know, if you haven't followed what's happening, he figured out what the left is going to do, so he actually withdrew himself from that college. Like, he got into college and then he said, all right, well, I'm withdrawing. And even after withdrawing, students were protesting so that Kile gets kicked out of the college. The thing is, he wasn't at the college anymore. He wasn't there. And yet you have leftists protesting at the college. It just shows that these people aren't following the news. Like, they're not even interested in reality. They're not even interested in what's going on. Like, none of them even bothered checking to see if he's still at a college. No, they probably watched CNN or the authoritative sources, and they told him that this is the college where he goes, as if it has any relevancy. Like, they literally doxed the guy. So they went on and they protested. But, it is what it is. Very similar to the Red Guard of Mr. Mao in China is what's happening with the progressive people in the United States. They just need a cause to champion. They just need whatever. Let me know what you guys think, though, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.